Hey folks, how y'all doing? And oh man, what are you doing today, Tom? This is a cool little gadget, and I thought I'd share it with you folks. This is from Klein tools, and this is a good way of, by yourself being able to find circuit breakers and what they control in your house. Ever doing a little project where maybe you're replacing a light, and you go down to your circuit breaker and nothing's really labeled correct. It just says general lights, and you can't make rhyme or reason of it. So what you do is you got the wife or the kids are upstairs and you're flipping one and you're going, is that the one? And they're yelling, no, it's not, or yes, it is. Well, this eliminates all that hassle. So it's a pretty cool little product here, folks. Let's take a look at it on Amazon, and then let's try it out ourselves. All right, well, there it is on Amazon. This thing goes, well, 40 bucks, let's say. And like I said, it's a pretty cool thing. They've got another model that's just a little bit cheaper than this. I think it's 10 bucks cheaper. But when we were looking at these, because my wife actually sent this to me because we've had these issues before where we're trying to find something and we end up turning off the whole damn house because we can't figure it out. And then we're running around resetting all the clocks and that. And this is supposed to eliminate that. So on Amazon, 40 bucks. This is the ET310, and let's get it out of the package. All right, let's take a little closer look at it. This is what you don't get the screwdriver, but you get the you don't get one of these two. People are going to ask, what if you're testing like a light and you would just get one of these adapters to it, and then you would also need to get an adapter because you don't want to pull that pin out. So you would need one of those, and I think we all have them that adapt it to get into like that. But this thing is, like I said, it does not. It doesn't work on dead circuits. So like if you're plugging this in, because this is what you plug in, it's got to have power. It's got to be live circuit. So if you're testing a dead circuit, well, it ain't going to work. But this will, and this is not meant to substitute an electrician. Let's put it that way. So if this does indicate that there's problems, you should always use a qualified electrician to do that kind of work for you. But it's I tell you what, for the simple things that some of us do around the house, like I do, I honestly think it's a pretty good idea. And it comes with a battery. You're wondering where that goes. You got one little screw right there, and you take that out, and then you put the battery in. So let's get the battery in, and let's go through the instruction manual, and let's try it out. All right, before we go any further, I gotta put a little disclaimer in here. Folks, this is a testing device. This is to help you test your circuits in your house. It's to help you find circuit breakers so you can maybe label them correctly in your circuit breaker box, but it does not qualify you to do electrical work on your house. So you should always get a certified electrician for doing any of that. Okay, now let's take a closer look at it. All right, so the part that's the transmitter is also a tester, which is really, really handy to have. And this one's got all sorts of, you can see here, it tells you, and it's got these lights on the bottom, and you plug it into any outlet and it'll light up these, and it'll tell you whether it's, what you're looking for is the bottom one there that says that these two yellow ones indicates that everything's wired properly. So and you can also test your GFCI. This is a GFCI outlet, so we're gonna plug that in. And you see we got two yellow bars that says that everything's wired correctly. Now to test the GFCI, it's got a button on the top of it, and you press that button in, and it should activate the GFCI. You'll hear it pop, and then there should be, I think there's like a red light that goes on. So let's try it. Yep, worked perfectly. Red light's on, it popped the GFCI. We're gonna push it back in, and then we get the two yellow lights again, meaning this GFCI is operating correctly, and it's been wired correctly. And folks, this would be great if you're looking at buying a house or something like that. Have you ever been with a home inspector? Do you know that they're doing this when you buy a house? Sure, it'd be a handy thing to have around, wouldn't it? All right, so I've got another outlet here that I've got our tester in. You can see I've got the two yellow lights. That means this one's good. We're going to use this as our first one to go down to the circuit panel. We've got the battery in there on the receiver, and every time you get in a new situation or a new circuit breaker, should reset it. So you turn it on, and then hit it again, and that resets it. And then to turn it off, it'll go off by itself after 3 minutes, but if you can't, if that beeping, so I tell you what, it's better to explain this just by going down to the circuit breaker, but that beeping is key to finding the correct circuit breaker. So we'll just power it off here, just like that. If you're wondering, if you notice this, what's that for? And that's to store. You can store that piece in here so that you don't lose the whole contraption. So let's go down circuit breaker. All right, so we're you can hear the beeping here. What they say to do is this needs to kind of learn your circuit breaker. So you actually touch them, you run it up and down both sides, so it starts learning your circuit breakers here. So we've already done that. I didn't want to bore you with that. So now I'm looking for that one circuit, and I haven't found it yet. I didn't start here though. Oh, hang on. So that's telling me that it's this one right here, and right here is that's where I've got it labeled that that's the West Kitchen. So we're gonna turn that one off and see if that's the right one. Let's go take a look. I'm excited. All right, no lights. That means that must be the right one. I would still do a double check just to make sure, but there's no lights on there, and there's no lights on that one either. So that would indicate that that is good to go. So that's how you find the circuit breaker for that outlet. Pretty cool. So I'm kind of paranoid when it comes to doing this kind of stuff, and just trusting one piece of equipment to test your, to make sure, no thanks. In fact, I'm going to use one of these just to double check. This is made by Greenlee. This is a circuit tester too. This just shows whether there's juice to it. You can, and it's better than sticking your finger in there, right? So that says that that circuit is. So that's the way for me to confirm that this thing works. Now let's go over to our other one here that we know is, well, that we shut off, but we're going to double check that by just, and no beeping. We tested it so we know it works. So now I'm more comfortable knowing that that outlet is dead. Now, folks, this is for testing purposes only. It's to help you find circuit breakers. But once again, if you're uncomfortable doing electrical work, by all means, don't mess around with electrical stuff. But I thought it's a really cool gadget for testing circuit breakers. All right, final thoughts. I think that's pretty cool. That does eliminate a lot of the guesswork when it comes to trying to locate the proper circuit breaker that goes to an outlet or a light somewhere in your house. So folks, like I said, this doesn't turn you into an electrician, and you should never open up live circuits or even dead circuits, start playing around with stuff. That's for electricians. So Tom Horseman, YouTube, thumbs up, leave a comment. I know it's a little bit different here, but I thought this was kind of cool and I wanted to share it with you. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.